Nobody really cares about the graphics of your game as long as your game has a good gameplay, right? Let's take a few steps back and think about the word graphics. The word graphics can refer to two different things, the graphical quality or the graphical design of your game. Graphical quality refers to all the advanced rendering techniques that are used to create the graphics for your game. This involves the quality of your mesh, the lighting used, the effects, the shadows, and basically it refers to the overall polish and detail of your final render. And if you talk about the graphical design, it depends upon the art style of your game, the aesthetics of your game, the color palettes you have used, and basically how your game looks like. And many people tend to confuse between these two things. Though advanced and photorealistic graphics actually looks really amazing, but it is not the only thing that can make a game look good. The main thing that affects whether the game would look good or not depends upon the graphical design of your game. A game with low graphical quality can still look good if it has a strong graphical design. So the word graphics that we are referring here in graphics versus gameplay, we are referring to the graphical design of the game, not the graphical quality. Now let's talk about the importance of graphics in indie games. If we talk about indie game developers, then they generally don't have that much funds or audience to market their game very well. And so the only way they are left with is to share the screenshots and videos of your game on social media, or create devlogs and post on YouTube or Reddit, or showcase your games on game developer meets and events. And looking at the current market condition, you can see that you are not the only one doing this. There are a number of developers who are creating a number of games for all types of platforms and posting it every day on wherever they can. And so, in this saturated market, potential players are not limited by the number of games out there. They have a number of choices to choose between. And so, in this condition, if you have to be successful, then in one way or another you have to stand out. And at this time, the thing that would make your game stand out is basically how your game looks. If your game doesn't look good and is not able to capture the attention of players in the first 3 seconds of your trailer, then no one is going to care about how good or unique your gameplay is. And it would simply reduce the chance of your game to be successful. As the developer of First Tree said in his video,
"It's hard to communicate good gameplay in 5 seconds, and you can't even show someone a good song in 5 seconds. But visuals are instantaneous. Graphics evoke emotions that instantly convert the busy gamers out there into super fans."
And this is how the game First Tree became so successful. He posted the screenshot of the game on different social media platforms and people really loved the look of the game and started building the community around it even before they knew anything about the gameplay. Just from the initial screenshots and short GIFs, that game was able to sell a number of copies. It also has a good gameplay and good storyline, but if those initial screenshots would not be so good that they would be able to capture the attention of the players, then maybe that game might have not been that successful. There are a lot of developers out there who came into the game development industry as programmers. They are very creative and innovative in creating new mechanisms and unique gameplays for their game. But when it comes to creating art, then they are unable to come up with something good. And then they turn towards the internet and find YouTubers saying that graphics are not that important, all that is important is your gameplay and things like that. And following their advice, they neglect the graphical design of their game, use random pre-made assets from different websites that don't complement each other, release their game to find out that nobody even played it. And that's the point. Creating a game is not enough. You have to transfer that game from your PC to that person who is the potential buyer of your game. And for that, you have to attract him in one way or another. And if you are an indie game developer, then all that you have is your devlogs, your videos, your trailers, and your screenshots. It is basically like creating a YouTube video. No matter how good the content of your video is, if you upload a bad thumbnail with that video, then nobody is going to click it and nobody would know what good content you are providing. Because as humans, visuals does matter to us. No matter how good a content is, if it looks bad, then you will not be able to get the best experience you could have got with that. There are some games out there that might look like they have low graphical quality, and looking at their popularity, you might think like, okay, that graphic is not that important. But the thing is, this can be because of two main reasons. The first reason is that the game might intend to look like that only. When it comes to the topic of bad graphics and good gameplay, then the most common example that is quoted by anybody is Minecraft. Because surely Minecraft is not the prettiest game that you would ever play in your life. But if you look at it closely, then you will find that that is how Minecraft should look like. It is a world that is made up of blocks, and everything that you see and interact with in Minecraft complements with its art style and its gameplay. Minecraft is one of those games that are low in visual quality but are very strong in their visual design. Anything except that style would not look great on Minecraft. If you have ever tried adding shaders to your Minecraft world, then it might look prettier than the previous one, and you might as well like playing it for 1 second or two, but sooner or later you will return back to the older version of Minecraft because you don't get that feel which you got when you played Minecraft for the first time. Same is the case with Thomas Was Alone. This is a game that is made up of just geometric shapes, but it still looks good and feels good. This is because of its strong graphic design. The way the designers chose the color palette, the story that revolves around these rectangles, the sound design and the gameplay, everything complements each other, and that's what makes a good game. Even when you look at older retro style games, it still feels great to play those games, not because they have the best graphical quality, but because they have a great graphical design, and every aspect of that game complements each other. That's why many of the people might get deceived playing these games thinking that they are enjoying these games only because of the gameplay, but actually it's not just the gameplay but also the graphical design and other stuffs that are backing up its gameplay, and that is making a perfect game. And you might just ask yourself, would you play a game that has good gameplay and unique mechanism but you are unable to distinguish between the anime and the background? And the second reason might be somebody just randomly played your game, and since the gameplay was on point, then he liked the game, he recommended it to your friends, and they recommend it to other people, and the snowball effect keeps on moving. This might be one case where gameplay would matter instead of the graphics, but you cannot take this assumption and start making your game. At last, coming back to the final question, which is more important, graphics or gameplay? And according to me, both. Both are equally important because a good game is a combination of many things done correctly. It does not stand on any one of its pillars, but it shines only when all the aspects of it complements each other in a good way. A game with bad graphics and good gameplay is equally as bad as a game with good graphics and bad gameplay. And not just these two things. Your sound design, your story, your feel, your aesthetics. The correct amount of all these ingredients is a recipe for a good game. And when it comes to a game that is developed by an indie developer, then the sole purpose of all the design decisions made in your game should focus on increasing the chance of making your game get noticed and should not be dependent on any random situation. You as a developer has to ensure that you can pull as many customers as you can, and for that use every aspect of your game. So if you are an indie developer and you are trying to create your own games, then don't fall in this trap of graphic versus game. Everything in a game is important, and everything makes up a good game. And always remember, don't judge a book by its cover, said no illustrator ever. I don't know who said that, but sounds cool. So that is it for today's video essay. If you want more such content, then please tell me in the comment section. And if you like the video, then consider subscribing the channel for future updates. Also press the bell icon. Like the video if you like the video, and we'll see you in the next video. Till then, dream big, hustle hard, and keep watching The Techpreneurs. Bye.